Hello, friends. Today I want to talk to you about something that feels really personal and almost a little embarrassing to talk about. It's about feeling stuck, feeling like you want to move forward, you need to move forward, that life is waiting for you, or the next phase of your life is waiting for you, or you're ready to create something new, and you can create goals and targets and all of those things, and yet you're just stuck. You don't have the space or the energy to grow and expand or move to the next phase of your life. I've been here for a while, and I've really been taking time to explore why this is and why I'm feeling this way. And I think I've figured it out. And I thought I would share it with you because I think maybe you're in a place similar to me, and maybe some of the things I've realized will serve you too. So I have in my life so much unfinished business, things, goals that I've started and stopped, projects that I've started and haven't completed, tasks that I've known for a while need to be completed and they just haven't gotten done. And I'm realizing how much those things are weighing on me with both shameful energy, but also just taking up so much space in my head that there isn't a lot of space left there for something new. And there isn't a lot of energy left because I'm spending so much time worrying about those things. Can you identify? I mean, maybe for you, it's similar. Maybe you have projects that are unfinished or a task list as long as your arm, but also maybe it's just conversations that you need to have that you've been putting off for a while. Or maybe it's a health concern that you need to address that's just taking up energy worrying about rather than using that energy to take steps forward. Or maybe it's just clutter and chaos. Whatever it is, I've realized that it's time for me to stop focusing on goals and creating. And it's time for me to start thinking about finishing. It's time for me to start putting energy into finishing things so that then that energy that is being used up by worrying about things, feeling sad about not having completed things, being distracted by all of this unfinished business, maybe I can just create a little bit more space and peace and opportunity for growth by focusing on those things instead. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Jody. Let's talk about it. So these unfinished things, they can take many forms in your life, right? They can be the projects and the classic decluttering that we're talking about. It can be mail and email that you need to address, or just regular adulting tasks like providing maintenance on your vehicles or around your home. It could also be things like returning something that you borrowed that's long overdue, or dropping off donations that have been in your trunk or near your front door for some time. And all of these things could be related to your life now and things that will just make your life now better. But some of them might also be, and this is the case for me, that these are things that you've inherited maybe. Maybe this is clutter or items or responsibilities that you're inheriting or have inherited from somebody else that you haven't addressed and that's weighing on you. So even worse, that these are things that aren't about your life and aren't about things that you've not finished, but are about something that someone else hasn't finished, that now is your responsibility. All of these things, whether they're part of your own life and your own goals and aspirations and responsibilities, or they belong to somebody else, but you are responsible for them now, they all create a sense of overwhelm. And when we're talking about goals and things that we feel like we should be doing, to be an adult, like maintenance things and take care of mail and things like that, then we start to have this low grade evidence of our inability to be successful. Now, that's not to say you're not successful, and it's certainly not something I'm saying about myself, because there are plenty of areas in your life that I am certain that you are wildly successful. But when you want to take on a new endeavor or create something new in your life or expand the circle of your life, if you have these little elements of evidence of being unsuccessful, where in your mind you're questioning your ability to get things done, these can really weigh on you, even beyond just a sense of overwhelm or not being able to take on something else. Now, it's not about these individual tasks. And I understand some of you have lives and responsibilities that leave very little energy for much else. But I would argue that a number of these things are probably taking up so much mental energy that if you could find the physical energy to get them off of your plate, freeing up that mental energy would be worth it. And that's what I'm banking on. That's what I've been playing with over the last couple of weeks as I made this discovery, and it is certainly playing out for me. So maybe it would be true for you too, or maybe it's just something to consider. So what's my plan? Well, for the fourth quarter of this year, I'm just going to focus on finishing things. More importantly, what am I not going to do? I'm not going to create goals, and I'm not going to create an action plan, and I'm not going to have target outcomes to meet. I'm just going to focus on this list that I've created of all the things that were in my head or taking up space and energy that were not getting done, and I'm going to focus on getting them done. I'm making sure to keep space in my calendar to work on them, and I'm making sure that that's going to be my primary focus from now through the end of the year. But most importantly, it's not about finishing the list. It's not about setting a goal for a certain percentage of them to get done. I am throwing that all out. This is just about finishing what I can get done. And even more than that, some of these tasks are tasks that are outside or that don't make sense to do when it's raining, and we will have a lot of rain where I live soon, or if it's cold outside, or if there are people available who can help me in cases when I need to be helped. So I will have options for what I can get completed. I'm not detailing what I'm going to do each week. I'm just going to wake up and decide what I have the energy for and what the weather allows for on that day. And that's what I'm going to tackle. And I invite you to join me. So I would love to have company on this, and I'd love for you to give it a try right alongside me. And if you decide that you want to take this on, I have a couple suggestions, and they're just suggestions for what to do next. But first and foremost, the thing that helped me the most when I started observing this and realizing this about myself is I did a brain dump of everything I could think of that needed to get done. In fact, I didn't do it just in one session. I sat down and did one big session, and then I walked around the house and my yards and looked in my car and my garage, and I wrote down things that needed to get done. I didn't get granular. Some of them might be just, clean out the car. Some of them might be, high level, clean out that corner of the garage. They don't have to be very detailed. This is just getting the list out of your head and onto paper or onto your spreadsheet or into your Notion or wherever it is that makes sense for you to put them. But that alone created a sense of space for me and a little bit of a weight lifted off of my shoulders, just that activity. So I invite you to do that and see if you don't have a similar experience, just knowing that everything is at least captured, that you're not spending energy, known or unknown, trying to remember them. Once you have that list, then I invite you to mark a handful of things. The number doesn't matter, you decide, but these will be your menu of items that you can choose from as you go into the first week of trying this challenge with me. So it shouldn't be something that has to get done on Monday. It shouldn't be a list of things that you have to get done in a certain week. I invite you to create a menu, and that menu means you can pick and choose from it as it makes sense, as the weather makes sense, as the location where you're going makes sense, whatever those things are. But just a few ticks or a few highlights of things that, so you don't have to scan the whole list every single time. These would be the things you would pick first. Okay. The last thing I would suggest is, and this is just a bonus if you decide to join me, but pick a word or phrase that will be your word or phrase for this challenge. Maybe it's finish what you start. Maybe it's complete things. Maybe it's get it done, whatever makes sense for you, but make it a theme for the quarter. Turn that, what would normally be goals or aspirations, just turn that into the theme for this quarter. There's not an opportunity to fail here. Just doing it, just making progress is absolute success. If you're gonna join me, I would love if you would subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can see when I upload again. But I do plan to upload at least every other week, but I'm really hoping for weekly so that you can see what I'm up to and you can hear more about what I'm discovering, what I'm learning along the way, and maybe it'll be motivating for you too as you go through this journey of the fourth quarter with me. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments.